There is nothing sweeter nectar of life, at least this guy's life. Welcome again to another episode of Psycho's Platters, always powered by coffee, each and every time. That is an eternal, universal promise. From this guy to you. That's right. It's another Saturday night, and I ain't, well, I do have somebody, but she's not here. And for some, Saturday night's all right for fighting, but for others, it's Saturday night. And that's what we do know. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? Yes, hello there, Mick, George, everybody. We're going to hopefully have now. We're a little smarter, just a teensy bit smarter. And first of all, am I coming in loud and clear? Please let me know. So as long as the internet gremlins don't do anything, hopefully we'll be okay. But if for some reason it does what it did the last time, I know what to do so that the interruptions are shorter. You understand what I'm saying? All right. I want to thank everybody here. I just got done posting a new CD. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I also found out, I think, I'm not no audio expert. I wish I was. When we had Rebecca on last broadcast, and then I think it was 2 broadcasts ago, we had Richard on. And everybody sounded like it was a voice coming out of a takeout order box and a drive-through. I'm guessing, of course, guess what? Neither one of them had the headphones on. I'm guessing that's where the echo was coming from. I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong. I don't like being wrong, but it happens. So, I just got done, and I posted this in the Psycho Platter channel. George saw it because he commented, and so did Stephen McAlwine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Stephen. For a new review from Gary Jones. Yeah, a lot of you people don't know who this is, but that's why we did the CD review for Lucky Man. An excellent album. He is a former member of the 80s band Firefall, and I think you will highly enjoy it. In the video, there's links where you can listen to samples and purchase either digitally or a signed CD, just like I got. You know what? We're doing all right. For some reason, I'm not going to lie, I hate being like this sometimes. I was a little depressed this afternoon, and I got no reason to be. I really don't. I mean, sure, I've got this nonsense. I go back to work tomorrow, by the way, as a cashier, at least until my knee surgery. We will know more about that next week, hopefully, right? Or excuse me, this coming week, later in the week. Sorry, I guess I haven't had enough of this yet. I'm a liar. I've probably had about 4 or 5 cups today. I know, Mike, and I don't know why, because you know what? I love God. I love Jesus. I love my kids. I love my grandkids. Love my girlfriend Carol. She's gorgeous. And wonderful. I love my mom. I love all my friends. I love you guys in the VC. But sometimes I still get like this. I cannot explain it. We are all, or most of us, experience feeling down. Part of our DNA. If I'm really down. How do you laugh when I'm feeling down? All right, before there's some shenanigans, because I don't want there to be, I'm not trying to jinx it. Thank you to the 7 people that are here. New subscribers, yes, to the Psycho Platter Network. You guys have come through. I love you people. I love my current subscribers. I love my new subscribers, and I love my go way back subscribers. I've had them for 12 years. Analog City. Tim Ward, Morton, Osted, AASTED, Steve Park, Nick Tronic, The Vinyl Salute, Stephen, Mick Elwayne, and Candy Barr. I like that. That's Kandibarre. Wasn't there an adult actress by that name? I could have sworn there was. Yes, and by the way, yes, I intentionally titled this for a little bit of clickbait, but there is a story to the clickbait. Yeah, I did. You know, I can't wait to hit 1,000 either, and you know, it's just, for me, it's a wonderful milestone. I'm not trying to do it to whore it out, if you will. See, you know, and thank you, by the way, Stephen, for the email in regards to the Manson Beach Boy thing. I read that. I need to find a copy of that. Not to get off too much topic, but get this. I was in my local record store just this week. I've got a couple things to show that I got in trade, but I found brand new. They put it out for $26. It's Manson in his jail cell for an hour in 1983. It was interview segments mixed with songs. I didn't know that anything like that existed. Hey, you showed up right when I started, and I love you for it. You know what? And you deserve it, George. George, please sub to George Music for all 4 seasons. He has a great channel. I saw the Tommy DeVito thing recently, and God, what else did I see on there? I try to watch him when I can, you know. I am subscribed to close to 1,000 channels, and I don't click the bell all the time. Sorry, Paul, you couldn't pay me to get anything by Manson. Matter of fact, between him and hell boy. But so you don't know about the Manson Yoko Ono duet album from 1960s? No, I'm kidding. Did I miss this? Did I overlook this? Because I don't remember that, or are you just telling me that now? Because if that's the case, Stephen, eventually we need to have a talk, if it's okay with you, out here, because I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, yeah, that new Manson Yoko Ono 1967. Okay. So, new albums in trade. One's going to be a future Jukebox from Hell episode. See, you guys are some of the first to notice, but I showed some of this on a certain Canadian Northern person's channel earlier today. So it's just 2 albums. But on Etzel Records, the Alpha Band interviews. Now, the Alpha Band, as you can see, trio here, mainly T-Bone Burnett and David Mansfield are your main people, right? Right. Why did I get this? Well, I like T-Bone Burnett and David Mansfield. I got to see him play in Bob Dylan's band in 2004 on mandolin. My God, he got almost as many cheers as Dylan did. How about that for amazing? But you have a Beatle that shows up on this album. Ringo plays drums on Spark in the Dark. These guys cut a couple albums on Arista. Now, T-Bone Burnett and I think David Mansfield also were in the Rolling Thunder Review in the mid-'70s for Dylan. So here's your front, here's your back. I'm looking forward to hearing this. I don't recall there being anybody extra on here that's familiar, but I'm happy about this. I am. Bob Newworth directed some of this, and I know Newworth had passed with Dylan too, so yeah, nice goodies there. Also, let's see here, hang on a minute. Yeah, well, Donna Jo Catlady, my bestie, went and got, but she's not opening it, Anton LaVey. I hope that's okay, I brought that up. I mean, see, now, that's damn cool, too. Zappa in 66, my God, that's like right at the start of everything for him. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah. And then, speaking of Yoko's better half, Pussycat with Harry Nilsson and John Lennon. Oh, Oh, you betcha. You betcha this is going to be a jukebox from hell. A future jukebox from hell. Now, I know maybe, we're going to talk about this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's, all right. So I know even if you don't know about this, give me a minute. So who's on this album of weirdness and borderline crappiness? All right, well, you got Ringo's on here. He is. Jim Keltner, drummer extraordinaire. Bobby Keys, Klaus Norman, Jesse Ed Davis, Keith Moon, he's on here. Jim Horn. We've talked about Jim Horn before. And I'm looking for anybody I haven't mentioned already. What is it with everybody wanting to do Rock Around the Clock? Ringo, of course, did it on one of his EPs. Well, guess what? They do it on this one, too. And you got Ringo and Keith Moon on here doing this. Oh, boy, they tackle Subterranean Homesick Blues. Oh, boy. I don't know. That makes me nervous. Sneaky Pete on pedal steel. I like Sneaky Pete's pedal work. He's on here a couple times. Yeah, but Ringo's on a handful of these tracks. So basically, you've got half the Beatles in certain parts, and why not? And I love it. On the back of this, it says everything is the opposite of what it is. Dr. Winston O. Boogie, M.D. / manic depressive, and underneath that it says, but somehow it isn't. Only not just the words, isn't it? Professor Schmilson, M-E, me. And of course, we know that when this was recorded, you also have coming out on a bootleg the infamous A Toot and a Snore. Because for one night, Paul McCartney shows up. That's right, Paul and Linda show up. Stevie Wonder's there. It's crazy. But you know what? I wish I could tell you it's a great bootleg. It's not. I've heard it. It's even on YouTube. If you haven't heard it, go put in John Lennon Toot and a Snore 74, and you'll get to hear it. I love Keith Moon's drum work. That man was crazy, and I love him. He was the engine, the foundation of the original Who, without a doubt. I'm sorry, I don't need any more covers of Bob Dylan songs and no more covers of I Want to Be Your Dog or Louie Louie, no more. Now, Blockhead, when Louie Louie comes on the radio, I turn it up. Not because I really like Louie Louie, but because in the mix, on the radio, you can hear the drummer drop his drumstick and he quickly yells, fuck. You can hear it. Psyko has the best, well, thank you. I took them from other people. No, I'm kidding. I sold my soul to the devil for these. No, I haven't. That's for show episode 666. Give me an F. Never mind. Yep. All the time, Paul. Me too. Just a coincidence. Jimi Hendrix and Keith Moon both died at Harry's. Oh my. That is kind of, yeah. I wonder what Harry thought about that shit, if you think about that, I always liked Harry's work, okay? If there's one thing, I only have some of his albums, okay? I'm looking for all of it. I really am. I want every Nielsen that I can grab my hands on. I think, though, let's see. I've got Nielsen Schmielsen. I've got Son of Dracula, which I've seen the movie. It's on YouTube. And Harry Nielsen has Countdown, which I'm like, that's great. That's just great. And when they do Jump Into the Fire, Mooney is acting out the drum part, which he's crazy in that clip. He's just crazy. But I want to get, Pandemonium Shadow Show. I want all that stuff. I did come across recently a Nilsson Sings Newman, but A, it was priced too much in my opinion, and B, it was really scratched to holy hell. But, and then actually I came across an original Boardwalk record press of the soundtrack to Popeye. And that one was also, that one was only $5. I would have pulled the track and it was a gold stamp promo. It was scratched to holy hell. And I was so upset because I've really been looking for that for years. We're in the off season down here in Florida. Ah, yes. I have about 4 of Harry's albums. I would say I got 5 or 6. I also got The Point, Do It on Monday, Nilsson, because there's a different one from like the mid-70s. That's fake news. Oh, that is right. Mama Cass did die in that place. And, of course, Hendrix was murdered. We won't talk about that today. Mooney actually played on Jack, but that's right. That is absolutely right. Oh, yeah. And Monica just let it all happen, didn't it? Monica, right? That Swedish, yeah. All right. So that's what I got for trade, if such. I did come across at a different place an interesting picture disc. A little too much for my blood. And, yeah, oh, that bastard manager of his. Paul and I recent video about unusually grooved records such as Locked, Grooves, etc. I went to the record store today and found a great deal for $5, an OG of the Nancy and but good for you. I have never come across that. I have got a couple Nancy and Lee 45s, but I don't have the album. That's it. Monica happened to be getting sick of yeah. Like Trayvon Martin was getting sick. Oh my! I shouldn't even know that reference, but yeah. All right. I didn't really have a lot to talk about today, exactly. I really didn't. So, what I do have to talk about, I know some of you people are going to go, oh God, he's going to talk about this. Like we haven't heard enough about the Beatles. And I know that, well, some people get bored by the Beatles. That doesn't bother me. I don't get bored by Beatle news, okay? We are not talking about Now and Then. That's last week. That's so last week. Remember when we said, that's so last week. So we know that's coming out, all right? We do. That's coming out sometime between now and the end of the year. What really shocked me, and as I said, future fuel for Beatle Anthology 4, you betcha. So here's the thing that excited me more. Now, you'll have to forgive me because this is courtesy of BBC. Now, the news story was actually dated April 4th, okay? Why this didn't go into Psyko's radar until a couple days ago, I have no clue. Maybe some of you Beatle fans already heard about this already, so there might be old hat for you, but I want to go into discussion. Oh, well, we're going to talk about that right now, because I honestly think now as of now, there's enough for an Anthology 4. Okay, so I will put the link, but because I am on the tablet, you're just going to have to go to BBC Sounds, all right? And you can hear clips. You can hear clips, little clips of what I'm going to be talking about. There's interviews, and then you get little sound clips, maybe about a total of about a minute of this tape. What tape? Oh, yeah. Oh, and God, there's going to be 2 hours. Yeah. Just hang on here. You're almost cart before the horse. So, a tape, a nice, beautiful tape has surfaced for the first time in 60 years. New tape of a Beatles show, April 4th, 1963. It is almost an hour. It is about like 50-something minutes on this tape. According to the guy who was 15 years old, he was right at the front. all but the last 2 songs were recorded. The tape ran out, and so the last 2 songs are gone to the mist of time. So you got about 50-something minutes of April 4th, 1963, Stowe boarding school in Buckinghamshire, England. It was mostly a male audience. You can hear the band. Now, on the BBC bit, now, Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Now, like I said, previous guests have sounded like a talk-through drive box. Now, I turned my thing down, and because I have these in now, instead of just talking, my end of the fence is pretty good. So hopefully yours is going to be all right. Worst comes to worst, you may want to put a headset on or a microphone or something. Joe, good to see you.
Good to see you.
How was it in FLA? You doing good in Florida?
Oh yeah. I'm hearing.
You're hearing an echo. Yeah, like I said, and by the way, somebody else brought this up. I made sure before I came on here. Huh?
How about now? That's still echo.
I'm not hearing an echo.
Yeah, I'm hearing.
I'm not hearing an echo on my side of the fence.
Does anybody on
the Oh God! Wait a second. He sounds like I am the luckiest man in the world.
That's what I'm hearing.
Well, then I hate to say this. Like I said, you might either want to put a mic in or headphones, and it might kill it.
Well, you talking, Melissa.
All right. That's all right. Because, like I said, we're not going more than an hour today anyway. So, now, I got to back up here. April 63rd, within a few months, you'd not be able to hear them anymore because of the noise. That's right. But the funny part about it is, sir, is that it was mostly a male audience. There was very few girls. And it was a week after the Please Please Me LP was released in the UK. So what is on this 50-something minutes of tape, believe it or not, it's most of the first album. It's every song that was on the Please Please Me album. And you've got some Hamburg Star Club era stuff. You've got some BBC radio stuff. There's about 2 or 3 songs that were not commercially released that's on this Stowe tape. So what it is, it's lo-fi, but it sounds better than the Star Club, because I heard the Star Club before the audio treatment and then what they could do in 1977. And believe you me, you can hear the band. You can hear the dialogue.
I'm gonna get off.
Okay.
Get off and just listen.
All right.
Me being, you know, if I'm echoing.
Sure. It's all right, Joe. Like I said, I'm not getting anything on my side of the fence, but, this just might have to be what it is until I get a new laptop, whenever the hell I get a new laptop. But, Sarasota Joe, thanks for popping by for that. Now, what do you think of the Beatles' AI song? Okay, so basically here it is. It's not really AI. Sean Lennon went off and explained that really what it is that Paul kind of misspoke a little bit, all right? Sean explained it a little more, went off and said that basically what they're doing is they're taking the audio software that Peter Jackson used for the Get Back movie to be able to isolate tracks. So it should sound better, and I am looking forward to it. Yes, I know, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, okay? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot when it comes to technological stuff. But I know, for example, if I didn't have these headphones in, you guys would say I'd have an echo, because we had it previously. That would be Ringo. Ringo was on drums. You're talking April 4th, 1963. So, for example, what is on the tape? Oh boy, yeah, there you go. Yeah. He was up there. Okay, so Ringo was on the drums on the session, the live thing. So if you go to the BBC Sounds, and you're going to have to go to April 4th of this year, that'll help you a little bit. Part of the other search part is that Hugh Laurie talks about Agatha Christie in the back half of the show. So the Beatles are at the front. So they got the first half of the. To skip it, put it about between 5-6 minutes in, and then listen to the rest. But they play you part of I Saw Her Standing There. That's the way they started it. Live, I Saw Her Standing There. They went from I Saw Her Standing There to Chuck Berry's Too Much Monkey Business. That much I can tell you. And they took requests. The Beatles took requests. Yeah. The Beatles took requests. And you could hear the guys blurting out, when they did Please Please Me. They went and did that. So here's how it works. So Anthology 4, right? I know, pipe dreaming, but just hear me. So you got Now and Then. All right, so you got Now and Then. Now, if you want to do chronological, which is what I think would be best, you could take that Stowe show for about 50 minutes, and they said that they would probably clean it up like they're doing with the Now and Then. They could clean it up some. It's not going to sound dreadful, guys. I mean, I heard it the way it was, and it sounded nice. It wasn't perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a lot sonically better than the Star Club tapes, okay? And you guys know, you Beatle fans know how, as much as I like the Star Club tapes existing, and I have it in the collection, this is better than the Star Club tapes. So I can tell you that right now. When they toured the States, that's right. It was about 25 minutes, but when they would do ballroom gigs, it would be almost an hour, and they would have 2 30-minute shows split by like 5-10 minute intermission. That's how it went, I guess. At least that's what it said in the BBC tape. So Now and then the Stowe show. So that'd be about 50 minutes right there. Okay. You could go off. There's a couple demos, Beatle demos. I know there's 2 John demos from '63. I think there's a Paul demo from '63. You can stick those on there. All right. So now you still have got all this '63 material. You got about an hour just for '63 in itself. All right. Then you could go Hong Kong '64. Okay, that'd be what, 25 minutes right there, roughly, give or take. So Hong Kong '64. So Now and Then, Stowe, the 3 demos, Hong Kong '64. Then you got Memphis '66. And by the way, Hong Kong and Memphis are both owned by Apple Corps. Okay, and if I remember correctly, so are the demos. I do not know who owns the Stowe show, and I don't know if Apple has attempted to purchase it. Yeah, they would too. They would. So sorry for being redundant. So Now and Then, Stowe, your 3 demos at least, if there's not more. So that's 5 things right there. Hong Kong '64, Memphis '66. All right, so those 2 combined, you got another 50 minutes. So that's over 2 hours between Stowe. So you've got 3 live concerts. All right, in less than 2 hours. Now and Then, the 3 demos, that'll put you at about 2 hours. Then you've got Carnival of Light from '67. That, I'm told, is a 14, 15-minute song. Then you also could take that longer version of Helter Skelter. And there is, I'm told, a 15-minute version, a 21-minute version, and a 28-minute version. All right? Stick that on there. So you could have a good 2.5 hours of stuff. And if I also remember correctly, oh God, really? We're going to throw ring rats in here. See, I know what ring rats are, because He's asking what a ring rat is. A ring rat is, oh boy, I can't believe Psycho's. So, you know what, Mike? This is almost like I'm setting you down and explaining the birds and the bees. So a ring rat is a wrestling female groupie that would wait before or after or sometimes even during the matches. Yes, I'm told that some ring rats actually went backstage or one time even under the ring. How weird is that? There's loads of stuff. And that's what I'm saying. You got a good 2.5 hours at least. And that would be enough for an Anthology 4. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there is another version. As everybody goes, fuck, I only had to mention that. But that's true. There's a longer Revolution 9. So, see, there you go. And so, yeah, Helter Skelter, it's coming down. That's one of my favorite damn songs from latter Beatles. But yeah, so I see at least a 2.5 hour set. And like I said, I think also that somebody found a snippet of a lost radio broadcast too. It's only a song or two. So you put all that on there. That's all your leftovers for Anthology 4. That'd be the final nail in the coffin for the Beatles. Now, I know I say that, but guess what? Someone will find something down the line. But you're going now into 61 years in October since Love Me Do. You know, I don't want to hear barrel scrapings, okay? Not with the Beatles. They did that with Elvis. The last thing that was of mini significance only came out, and I think it was 2014. That was Presley by the Presleys, where they had the 3 or 4 song tape recorder from Linda Thompson's house from '74. Oh God, that's right. That's right. You've got, okay, damn it, Ollie, you brought this up good. So Quarrymen Live from '57. I know I don't know how long. But let's not forget the 1960 rehearsal at Stu Sutcliffe's house. It exists. So yes, we're going to call it a triple CD, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, you could pepper whatever's left, maybe with some really cool alternate takes, just something, or maybe even little interview snippets. All right. You know, that is a good, solid question. I will never understand that, ever. I am surprised that Brian or Colonel Tom didn't do it. I guess in '65, I don't know. Nobody gave a shit. I don't want to say that. The Beatles, I'm told it wasn't that great of a meeting based on several different points of view. It's still cool it happened in August '65, but could you imagine if somebody ran a tape recorder even for just like 5 minutes during that little jam where Elvis is on bass, and everybody, I'm like, that'd be nuts. Good or bad, that'd be nuts, just to hear that 5 minutes of Elvis and the Beatles. Yeah, oh, jeez, you're right. Yeah, Piggies, and there's a couple other ones. It's just... Manson was something else. And I also heard, speaking of just throwing this out there, I don't know why, but a couple of weeks ago, Leslie Van Houten was released from prison. I was surprised about this. 53 years later, Leslie Van Houten, one of Manson's girls, released from prison. Oh, yeah. Oh, I heard about that too, actually. I did. But you know what? Elvis, look, you know, I'll say this. The first couple Elvis movies, up to Blue Hawaii, I like them. I like most of that stuff, okay? I do. But after that, oh, come on. You know, either they shouldn't have given him such schlocky movies, right? Or They should have, I mean, okay, fine. The soundtrack albums were money makers. All right. When the movies were made, it wasn't to show Elvis's acting talent. It was to sell the music, to sell the records. And if people went to the theaters to see him, more power to you. Oh, wow. Yeah, you and me have got to talk in greater length off of here. I never saw that movie. I haven't yet. Heard it. It's an excellent soundtrack. I don't know. But, so, that's what we're looking at, though, to be honest with you. Boy, I just didn't really have a lot to mention today. But that's okay. I miss you guys. I try to go and do as much as I can on here. You know, and my executive producer, Donna Jo Catlady, always goes off and says that I need to put out more content. She's right. She's absolutely right. And between, you know, coming on here to see you guys for a little while, even if it's for an hour or more, you know, that's beautiful. When I do the album reviews, you know, some of the artists you're going to know, some of them you won't. And then the Jukebox from Hell, which I really enjoy that. That's like my crown jewel, really, is Jukebox from Hell. The next Scorsese movie looks to be pretty good. It's called, oh yeah, yes, I have heard about this. I do want to see Oppenheimer. Yes, I do. I knew somebody, she never would talk about it. I had a coworker in the late 80s. She worked on the Manhattan Project. She did. She barely would talk about it. She pretty much, until she died, she pretty much was like almost sworn to secrecy. But because she knew that I loved history, and I brought up a similar topic that she brought up very in hushed overtones and told me not to tell anybody. Well, no offense, she died in the mid-90s, so the heck is that called? Asteroid City, right? I've heard good things about Asteroid City. A friend of mine went to go see Asteroid City. He works at a movie theater. He gets to see these movie screenings be like a day or two before they're released in the theater. So he can give me little hints and stuff. But, so anyways, you know, between that and the Jukebox from Hell, and, you know, Stephen brought up when I had my Gary Jones one, the Spaghetti Incident from GNR, that'll be going on the list. My next one, after the George Harrison one, and if you guys haven't seen the George Harrison Don Trappo Jukebox from Hell, please do. I know some of you have. Asteroid City, everybody's in that. I know, right? In the 50s. Yeah, it does smack of the 50s in a way, doesn't it? Yeah, that is one of the first things. It probably won't come around here. Nothing comes around here. Yeah, I want to see the Meg Payne movie, too. Saying that, though, my kid, I had a nice late Father's Day treat. My son John took me to Red Robin. Yum. Not to be confused with Red Robin from DC Comics, because I'm not no cannibal. Anyways, so I had the nice Red's Tavern double like I always do, and we all shared the big tower of onion rings. Oh my God, those onion rings and that campfire sauce. Oh, it's so good. But he went off, and when I go over there next, he's going to let me borrow, because he got it on DVD, the Super Mario Brothers movie, because it does look interesting. I want to see that. I got so many movies that I'm behind on watching. But, so yeah, so that, and the Oppenheimer, and the Asteroid City, and the May Pang. Yeah, I know lots of things I got to watch. But, so yeah, the next episode of Jukebox from Hell will be an album from Black Oak, Arkansas. I like Black Oak, Arkansas, okay? some people call them Southern rock. I like to really call them Southern boogie because that's really what it is. I mean, there's elements of Southern rock in there, don't get me wrong, but there's also some really good boogie type, and you can hear other things, a little bit of gospel, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of other things in there, but Black Oak, I thought, were pretty damn good from 1971 to about 1975, 76. And then when they went from Atco to MCA, that's when you start getting that shaky ground, you see. And then when they landed on Capricorn Records in 78 and cut 2 albums, that was pretty much the death knell for the band on a major label until 2015. So what are you going to do? I hear the first 5 minutes of the indie movies. You know what? I really don't have a desire to see Dial of Destiny. I just don't. I think I'm still pissed off about Crystal Skull. I really, really am. I'm even curious about it's terrible, $7. Well, like I said, I haven't been to a movie theater since 2020. September 2020, when I saw that Elvis movie when they put it on the big screen. And I'm not talking about that, his last name's Butler. I'm not talking about that movie. I'm talking about, it's like 50th anniversary of Elvis the Way It Was. I never saw an Elvis movie on the big screen, and with the Dolby sound, it was wonderful. You thought you were there. The sound was that good, you thought you were there listening to the concert. At times, it was that good. At least in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, so, I did not go see that Batman movie, but even my kid went off and he's like, you should see it. I liked, the Christian Bale ones, I really like. I like the first 2. The third one to me was a little messy. It was a little messy. And I've said it before, but the third Christian Bale was originally supposed to be casted as, it was going to be Riddler Penguin. It was going to be Philip Seymour Hoffman as Penguin and Johnny Depp as Riddler. I think it would have been a great damn movie. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just like, that's the way it should have went. Instead of your Catwoman, Bane, Ra's al Ghul, I'm going, see, it's like, I don't know, it's like the curse of threes, because Spider-Man 3, the one with Tobey Maguire, there was one too many villains in that one, because if you remember, it was Sandman and Rhino, and then they wedged in Harry Osborn and the Goblin Glider. I'm like, no, too much shit, too many people. Yes, Heath was great as the Joker, no doubt about it. But saying that, I actually also like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie. I'm really scared about Joker 2. I'm not going to lie. I thought somebody said it was a musical, parts of it, and I'm like, I hope they're kidding. But I could have sworn I heard Lady Gaga's in that damn thing as Harley Quinn, and I'm going, oh, God, no. No. But I don't know. I just want to see the trailer. I want to see the trailer for Joker 2 when they're done. I thought it's coming out in 24, actually. I thought I heard that. So, I don't know. Well, maybe, but I still liked it. Boy, what he did to De Niro. Oh. Announce me as Joker. Hey, Murray. I'm just like, oh, shit. I'm like, even I didn't see that coming. I should have, but I didn't. But yeah, that whole movie. Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. A movie can be mired down by bad casting, a bad plot, anything. I mean, let's face it. There's a video out there in YouTube that explains about the third Tim Burton Batman movie. there was going to be a third one. And because Batman Returns, and I liked both of the Keaton movies, okay, Danny DeVito was just really kind of gross in that Penguin character and whatever. But still, it was darker than the first one. Well, they had that McDonald's Happy Meal endorsement, and that bit them in the ass, Warner Brothers, okay? And it didn't work. The kids weren't going for it because guess what? It should have never been marketed to kids in the first damn place. They were too dark. These movies really were more for teenagers and not children. You weren't supposed to let them see this crap yet. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, that was a disturbing. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Tim Burton in his directing. I really do, actually. But that third movie, and I'm trying to remember who the hell. I think that might have been Riddler and somebody else. But here's the thing, and I've said this for many years. And this ain't spoiler alert, considering this damn movie came out in '89. All right, so Batman, and Jack Nicholson's Joker, he's hanging there outside of the building and falls to his death. Now, I could have sworn in that movie, he said, hey, as long as I got my deck of lucky cards, nothing bad can happen. Now, unless I missed something, he should have had the lucky cards in his suit pocket when he fell all that way down. And if that's the case, they could have opened up a very interesting can of worms. They could have done 3, and it could have been like a flashback piece, so to speak, where Joker's getting taken to the morgue, and then he would have been there, and they have to go, like maybe they have a coffee break or something, or somebody's called to do something, and so they step out, and the next thing you know, Jack Nicholson pops up from the sheet and he's alive, which would scare anybody to death. But it's like, surprise, had the deck of cards. I have got to see that. You know what, I'm not going to lie, I didn't get to see that show at all. I know what it's supposed to be about. I just never got to watch Gotham. I am so far behind on stuff. I heard that the Flash movie is not doing real good. Well, it doesn't help when your main character, a.k.a. the Flash, in real life has allegedly done some things he shouldn't have done. You guys can look it up. I'm not going to tell you. But the cool part about it is Michael Keaton shows up, and I'm guessing it's from a different alternate DC universe for his Batman. Yeah. And in a way, I kind of like in the Joker movie how Bruce is only like, 10, 12 years old in this, and I'm going, oh, you're going to go this way with it, huh? And I'm just like, oh boy. That's all right. I got what you were saying. So, I think in a few minutes I'm about ready to wrap this up. But before I do, let me legitimately throw to the 9 of you that are out here. We had about almost 14 in the room today. That's not too shabby. I know the Gunkles were doing the broadcast. Is somebody doing a Jackass record auction? Probably. I don't know. I don't care. I can't afford record auctions anyway. I'm a frugal SOB. I can't go off and buy record auction stuff. If I'm lucky, I'll go to a record store and pull a trade. Me, I'm Mr. Resale Shop. Oh boy, I gotta tell you about that in a minute too. To make a Joker 2 image of Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. They better fast forward a little bit. So I ended up going to a resale shop here in town yesterday, actually. My God, there were so many albums. And I wasn't complaining about that because I'm like, ooh, new stuff to look through. But good God, like, I'm not kidding you, one whole crate of albums was 2 country artists. Oh boy. Dave Dudley is one of them. And then, Roy Drusky. I'm like, really? They made that many damn albums? And it shocked me to no end. But that was what one whole milk crate was just those 2. And I'm going, and some of them were white label promos, but I'm just like, my God, I like classic country, but, you have to draw the line somewhere. They did have a couple Jerry Lee Lewis albums from, like, the 70s, but unfortunately, they were not in great shape. Mercury. I think it was Mercury. Maybe one was Elektra when he was on there. And, that's funny you say that. No, but there was some marimba. The other one. Well, yeah, good year, goodwill, good something. Goodwill Hunting. I'm trying to remember the last thing I found in a resale shop, to be honest with you. Maybe that partially signed Spanky and Our Gang LP that was kind of sort of trashed. I paid the $1 for the autographs. That's all I did. There was no vinyl. It was part of a gatefold, and then it was signed in red ink back in the day. And I'm just like, there ain't going to be too many of those out there. I respect my old school Chicago bands. The last couple months I've picked up not only at that signed Spanky and Our Gang, but I picked up a band signed Crying Shames from like late 67, early 68. Oh, I like doing the Goodwill Hunting bit. It's just the prices are so ridiculous now. They're just so much. It's like, I don't know. They're gonna have a hard lesson. They're gonna have a real hard lesson when a lot of the vinyl people, because I know in some places it's up to $4.98 now an album. I'm like, screw that unless it's something that's kind of rare. If it's something that I don't think I've seen before, or something that I don't think I'm going to see again, okay, for example, you're dang right that if I found a mono Birds, Bees, and the Monkeys for $4.98, even though it was Scratch to Holy Hell, I would buy it for $4.98, okay? You grew up with who? I mean, it seems like you've had a lot of cool people, but it's like see, now that's cool. Well, good for you out there. But I mean, here in Northwest Arkansas, and I can vouch for my friend in Northwest Illinois, Southern Wisconsin. He'll go, and I think some of the Goodwill locations are $2.98. Some of them are $3.98. That's what he told me last week, actually. And I'm just like it's just too much. I went to this place today, and the albums are $1. Okay, but there wasn't anything there, nothing good. Exactly. If it's cheap, I'll do it. Roll the dice. You like it. If you don't, well, guess what? Yeah, okay, Middle Tennessee. I knew you were in Tennessee. I just wasn't sure. When the sound issues get resolved, you need to. Well, yes, I do want to interview Steve, and I got so many other people that I want to interview. Oh God, do I really do too. Not only do I want to interview Steve, but I would love to. There's a couple people from 60s and 70s bands that I communicate with through Messenger, and I would love to have them on. I really, really would. You know, some of just while they're still alive. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to hear the stories. I want to hear the stories. Maybe I want to hear how certain things were processed. How, you know, maybe some road tales and stuff like that. I think that would be absolutely wonderful. I would not deny that at all whatsoever. And you know, that's part of the other thing too. for union scale, that's great. I mean, you know, when I get to the 1,000 bit, if there's a donate button, yeah, I'm gonna put it up there. I'm not gonna whore myself out. And I can tell you that if people donate, I will exactly be transparent on my donations that come in, because I need new equipment. I need better stuff so I can do a better show for you guys. It'll go all back into the show, because I love doing these shows and I want to learn just like you. All right. That's why I want that 1,000. And to me, it's a milestone for me. Because I'm going to tell you something. You're talking about a guy who, yes, former radio DJ, on and off for 7 years. Okay? Been in a handful of television commercials. Been on TV 2 or 3 times. Been interviewed once or twice. But ever since I was a kid, okay, this all goes back to the little man in the radio when I used to listen to my transistor radio. You take care. You take care. Always good to see you. Thank you. And I will get to that, Stephen, early this week. I'm not going to lie. I start work tomorrow again, and between now and Wednesday, it's going to be kind of busy because my doctor appointment, very important doctor appointment on Wednesday. So, Stephen, I may get back to you at the back end of the week, if that's all right with you. And we'll talk. We'll talk. I want to talk. Just mono and mono over the phone, maybe, even if it's just for a couple minutes. I'd like to do that. I have no problems with that. So, but that's the thing. Ever since I was a little boy in the early 70s, and I had that flashlight under the covers, reading a comic book, listening with the earphones into the transistor radio to listen to WCFL and WLS in Chicago. I fell in love with radio. I wanted to be on radio. I got to be on radio. I got a taste of it. I got a taste. And I'll admit, the biggest audience I ever had on radio, 100? I bet you I maybe had 100 listeners. And I know, that's not a lot, right? Compared to LS had tens of thousands, you know, in any given hour. I maybe had 100 listeners an hour on my show in downtown Chicago. And I know you're thinking, what's downtown Chicago? But you're talking, it was a 500 or 1,000 watt station. So that's why it was only so much reach. But I've always wanted to entertain. I don't know why God, maybe you guys have the same question. Why did God put me here? Why am I on this planet? Why am I on this third rock from the sun, as Jimi Hendrix would say? And for a long time, I wasn't really sure. And as much as I love my family, I never wanted to be big time. Seriously, I never did. I would love to have a small radio station that maybe went out to even a few hundred people, maybe a couple thousand. I just want to entertain. I want to make people smile. I want to spin a bunch of stuff, 50s to 80s, stuff maybe you never heard before, stuff you have heard before, and just interject with a bunch of humor. That's what I always wanted to do. And I had to do it for a little bit, but it wasn't enough. Because once you're in radio, you want more. And it really, for me, was not to be an attention whore. Okay, that's not why I went into radio. Even though, sure, you know, Hey, I'm on such and such radio station. Whoopty-twang. But it was to make people feel good. And when people would call me and ask for requests, were you allowed to play anything you wanted on your station, or was it limited? Okay, so my last full-time, well, not full-time, excuse me, 2001 was really when I got to do what I wanted. I got the summer show, so I got to play what I wanted for like 3.5 months. Seriously, I had to put up with 8 to 9 months before that of club, hip-hop, dance music, okay, with very little rock and roll in there. But I did that so I could get my show, and I could do anything I wanted with my show, and I did. And at that time, I went 50s to early 90s, and I was all over the place. And at that time, I called it the Musical History Tour. That was my show back in 2001. And I actually have a couple cassette tapes of scoped shows from that, which eventually I'll put on here for you guys, you know, maybe a few minutes at that time, just so you guys can understand what I was doing back then. Good old Psyko. And that was the thing. Psyko DJ was what I called myself in 2001. All right, in 2000. So 2000 to 2001. And Psyko_DJ@yahoo.com has been my email since 2000. I have been Psyko for 23 years. And I've stayed that way. And I filed for trademarks. Literally, I filed for trademarks on that brand. It might be one of the few things I'll be leaving the kids, not that the kids would understand. They know that Dad does a goofy-ass show, but that's it. Some of them have got my musical influences. I think I told you before, several of my kids. My daughter loves the Beatles, okay? My one son, he loves Pink Floyd and Fleetwood Mac and Hall & Oates and bunches of other ones. And I said, well, guess what? When I die, even though I've sold some of my record collection, but I'm keeping parts for them. It's like, you guys are going to know what's for you. Take them. And whatever you guys don't want, just sell off. But so help me, if you sell a $100 album for 25 cents, I'll come back and haunt your ass. It's a guarantee. I'm not going to lie to you. I hope to get it. I'm going to have, it's on cassettes. And the thing is I'm not sure yet how to transfer cassettes. My buddy might be able to burn a DVD of maybe about half an hour, but it might take him some time. The movie Psyko had a huge effect on my life. Personal story. I'd be curious to know about that too. I always liked that movie. Hitchcock did a really good job on that movie, I'll tell you. They should have never made the other ones after Psyko. To me, it diluted the brand. Tony Perkins obviously needed the money. That's what I heard. For 2 and 3, he needed the money. I don't know how true that is, but like I said, the first one will always be great. And for anybody that doesn't know, in the end scene, Ted Knight is there as one of the police officers. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Ted Baxter from Mary Tyler Moore. That was one of his earliest starts, was in the movie Psyko. All right. We've been on an hour, and I think we're going to cut this. I want to thank everybody that has watched tonight. I figured it wasn't going to be on real long. I got to go back to work tomorrow, and I got some more YouTube stuff I've got to work on. Like I said, I'm working on my next episode. I do research and stuff. So that's what I'm doing. And I'll probably have that on later in the week for that. And but until then, if you've got some time, watch some of the older stuff. Watch that new Jukebox from Hell, like I said. Check out that Gary Jones album. I think you guys would like it. especially if you are in a country rock vein. I think you would definitely enjoy it thoroughly. I love Psycho, but I think it really overshadows his other movies. I love Rope. I'm not going to lie. I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen it. I have seen maybe about, I'm trying to think here. I've seen North by Northwest, Rear Window, The Birds, Psycho, Vertigo, and maybe one other of Hitchcock. I actually wrote to Alfred Hitchcock when I was a kid, but I never got a response back. I was telling my girlfriend today, actually, that because I tripped on some books of art. Now, I'm a young whippersnapper when I'm doing this stuff, all right? But true story, I wrote letters, because I always was going for autographs. I wrote to Mark Chagall and Salvador Dali. Seriously, I did before Dali died and Chagall died. Make a file and upload. Well, like I said, I've got to figure out. I got to get them transferred from cassette to at least a CD, and then I could run it through the laptop and probably put it that way. Yes, North by Northwest is awesome. Thank you. I want to thank Sarasota Joe. I'm sorry about the echoey tin can stuff. I don't know. Maybe if I can afford a laptop computer, does anybody want to start funds for getting... I started taking a look at laptop computers, actually, this week at my Wally World. I think like the cheapest okay one would be $400. Oh, boy. I don't need all the bells and whistles. I just need stuff. Paul, can you check your email? I'll mail it off to you Monday. Thank you. Okay, I'll do my best. I'm not going to promise about Monday, okay? Like I said, but I will do runs like $30. I'm an idiot. What runs like $30? Make a file and upload. Yeah, I don't know. You can play a cassette through a converter into the laptop. Well, I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that. Thank you. And then Lisa. Just about ready to wrap this up, Lisa. I'm sorry. See, and see, blockhead, it was Lisa's turn to be the blockhead. I know she thinks I'm insulting her, but that's not true. Because usually blockhead shows up just as I'm ready to end this, but this time it was Groovy Lisa. But, yeah, I will, let me write this down before I forget. Cassette converter into laptop. Because believe you me, I've got not every show, obviously, because that'd be boring, but I'd say I got about 10 cassettes of scoped shows, because I did 3 hours, so obviously it's not 3 hours. I'd say I have half of a 30 or half of a 45-minute side filled. That's what I did. So, all right. I love you guys very much. I always will. You guys are the backbone to this show. I am just the big blabbermouth, as Jackie Gleason would say. Blabbermouth. But I enjoy doing what I'm doing. And like I said, guys, if you haven't liked and stuff to me, please, that would be beautiful. All right? I would love that extra. I've used one. It comes with some cool software, makes it, oh, thank God. Now, this laptop is at least, let's see, Jessica's been gone 4.5 years. I want to say 5 to 6 years old, maybe 7. I don't know. I don't even remember what operating system it's on. But I'll look into it. But until next time we meet, happy trails to you, toilet flush, and everybody be kind, take care. 4th of July's coming. That'll be next week. Next week will be 4th of July already. We have already gone through half of this year. Oh, good. Well, good, okay. Peace to you, too. All right, guys. I love you. Take care. God bless. Rock on. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, always powered by coffee each and every time, because I wouldn't have it any other way.